everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today is March 1st, which if you're like me, it's basically already spring. I feel like the spring vibes are everywhere. When you go shopping, there's tons of spring stuff. If you scroll on social media, I'm seeing tons of spring crafts. So I thought it'd be fun in preparation for the new season. We would do some spring hobbies and maybe even go do a little spring shopping because I want to get some new decor items for my room, but also for our kitchen and living room area. So we may go do that tomorrow. But today we're going to start with some sewing projects. I know a lot of you are fellow sewists, or you just like watching the process of sewing. The first one, which we're going to start with, is a flower pillow. I watched a couple different tutorials on this and it seems pretty easy. I also purchased some upholstery stuff. So I got some buttons, the needles, and some thread. So that way I can add a little button to the center of the pillow and actually upholster it. And if you're not into sewing, maybe this will inspire you to start because it is so fun and you can make all kinds of different things and I love it. And honestly, such a rewarding feeling when you finish a product and you can say you made that. So I highly recommend starting sewing this year if you're not already into it. So let me go ahead and pick out some fabric. Okay, so one of the tutorials I watched, she actually used a different fabric for each petal, and then on the back she just used one single fabric. I'm just gonna pick out a few spring ones that I think could potentially go together and then lay them out and see what I think. I have a solid pink, the strawberry, pink and white stripe, cherry, little bows, and a pink with white polka dots. I feel like these all kind of go together. It's very girly, it's very spring. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm actually going to first look in my scrap bin and see if I have these fabrics already cut out in a good size for the petals. So rounded top, and they come to a point. Maybe I should get my ruler. Like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut that out and I will use that as my pattern. A little bit of a change of plans. I looked through all of my scrap fabrics and I actually have small pieces of these left, which are actually a perfect size for the petal, and also this gingham one instead of doing the striped. So I'm gonna keep the bows, the strawberries, and the cherries, but I'm switching out those three. And we're gonna do it like that. So I feel like that's very cohesive. We have the pinks, the whites, a little bit of reds. So that's gonna be our petals. And then on the other side, I might have enough in this pattern to do completely on the other side. I love this fabric. It's subtle, but also just very cute in spring. It probably wouldn't hurt to iron them out first, but I'm just gonna go ahead and cut the petals first. Okay, this is how it's looking. I have high hopes it's gonna be pretty cute. So this is how I'm thinking I'm going to lay it out. I'm gonna iron all the pieces together and then basically clip them like this and sew the edge here so I can attach all of the layers. For anyone curious what size I made my petal, it is from the center top to the point at the bottom. It's roughly 8 inches. And then the widest it gets from the 2 points here is 7. While I'm working on this, I'm listening to the Unselected Journals of Emma M. Lyon. I'm currently on volume 3 and I am 52% of the way through. If you like a witty historical fiction, you may really enjoy these. They're super short. I think there's currently 8 volumes, but this is a continuing series. So the author is still working on these. I think there's supposed to be like a ton in this series, but so far it's really fun. They're charming, they're witty. But yeah, I'm liking it so far. I know it's a lot of people's like favorite historical fiction series, so I recommend giving it a try. had a little mess up here in the center, but that's okay because I'll have a button here. So on this piece, in the actual tutorial, she recommends sewing the top 3 together and the bottom 3 together and then attaching those 2 pieces, which I honestly think would be a lot easier. Okay, we're gonna do it like this. So these 3 and then these 3. Okay, unfortunately I forgot to hit record. So I did the top piece. So I just sewed those front sides facing and then those 2, which gave me half of the flower. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the bottom half, 3 pieces, and then sew both of those front sides facing along this bottom half and attach it. All right, I'm gonna take the bottom one and line it up to the top. This is all the filling I have left, so hopefully I'll have enough to stuff this pillow. Well, look at this cuddle bug. He's my little sewing buddy. He loves to hang out with me next to my sewing machine. And he's so sweet. I got my pillow stuffed and the opening closed. Now I'm ready to try out this little button thing. So this was a whole kit I got from Amazon. I'll have it linked down below if you want to check it out. But I think it's just called like upholstery button. Then trim the fabric. So you shove all of the fabric into the center and you take the other piece, do that. It did, how cute. I have a little button. So I need to do another one because I want a button on the other side as well. Threaded my waxed upholstery thread through this lighter colored button. Then I'm gonna grab one of these larger needles. Okay, and we're gonna thread this right in the middle and go all the way through. Okay, that is a really thick needle. I know it's kind of hard to see what I'm doing, but I think pulling it tight enough so it actually bunches. Basically, once I have that, it's time to just tighten it and try and create a knot. Here is my finished flower pillow. I absolutely love all of the different fabric designs. I think they match really well. It's really cute. I do wish I would have had more batting. I used up all the rest of batting I had. So some spots could use a little more fill. And honestly, such an easy project. I finally made it back home. I'm gonna share with you everything I got from HomeGoods. Nothing really that exciting. Half of it is just for our kitchen cabinet here, and then the other half is just like cooking utensils and other kitchen things. I'll go ahead and show you. I did, as you saw, impulse stopped at the nail salon. My acrylics were grown out, so they needed to either be filled or removed anyways. And honestly, I was just missing my natural nail. As much as I love the look of acrylics, I don't love the feel of them, and I feel like I'm really limited with them. And another thing, which is funny, you know when you have like a sore on your finger, you constantly like hit it, or you feel like you're always bumping it? That's how I felt with the acrylics, like constantly getting caught on things or something and like kind of bending the nail, where it's obviously very uncomfortable. So I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna remove them. I would love to be able to just grow my natural nail out and have them be nice and pretty and long, but as soon as they get long, they peel. So I'm gonna try and find some nice hardeners and stuff and just kind of go that route. Like I said, I love the look of acrylics, I just don't love the feel of them. So I went ahead and went back to short stubby nails. And yeah, honestly, it feels really nice to have my natural nail back, which is just kind of funny. But yeah, I went ahead and did that on an impulse. The nail salon is right next to HomeGoods. So I was about to leave and I was like, you know what? They're pretty slow. I'm just gonna run in and get it done, because if I don't do it now, I don't know when I'll do it. The first thing I got is pretty cute. I love getting like seasonal and holiday towels for our kitchen, and I thought these ones were absolutely adorable. They're really soft too. Another thing, not so exciting, I need some more sheet pans. We only have one and it's in pretty rough shape. So I went ahead and got this set, which has two, and they feel super sturdy. Next thing is a strawberry lunchbox. So I actually have a strawberry one, but it's too small to hold the like glass Tupperware things I have. And this one is nice and big and will be able to hold probably 2 or 3 of the ones that I have. And it was only 15 bucks. So I was like, you know what? I really love strawberry themed things. And I was going to try and sew my own, but for 15 bucks, I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna get that one. I really wanted to add some greenery to this kitchen cabinet. So I picked up this little plant. This next item, I've been wanting one of these for so long. I tried to go to a thrift store and find one because my mom has one that's more like vintage, and I just think it's really pretty and a really nice way to display your deviled eggs. I've been wanting one of these forever, and I thought this one was so pretty. I love the way it looks. Everything else I got are mugs, but I just thought it was so cute. It has a little cherry on the inside. Then I also got 3 of these to hang up right here. More like spring pink ones. So we'll hang those there. And then I got one more different style mug, which is also just very spring. I love when they put a little painting on the inside. I just think it's adorable. And this one was also only $4.99. So that's everything I got at HomeGoods. So nothing actually for my room, which was my plan, is to get some cute spring decor for my room. So maybe I'll go to Hobby Lobby or TJ Maxx, or I'd really like to go thrift shopping and get some secondhand stuff. I want to try and maybe do like a thrift flip and get some like curtains and tablecloth and pillow covers and repurpose that fabric into some sewing projects. So I want to do that video very soon. Maybe we'll plan that this month or sometime in April. You may have seen me sew this one, which I absolutely love. I love the fabric. I think it's so cute, but the inner pocket is basically useless. It's kind of more just a divider. I really want to actually have some pockets that I can maybe use for like my little wallet or feminine products or like my AirPods, whatever. I kind of want to make a new one with some actual usable pockets. So we're gonna make a new tote bag. Let me actually put all of this stuff up, then we'll head to my craft room and get started. I still need to put a picture in this frame, but I'm not sure if I love that plant there. It kind of feels a little bit out of place, but I'm gonna leave it there for now. I do really love these mugs. I think they look super cute, and the gold match the gold on my candle warmer and the gold on the frame. Okay, here are my 3 fabrics that a company so kindly sent to me. So I'm thinking I'm going to do the strawberry fabric for the outer, and then this one for the inner fabric, which has some like honeycomb shapes, some little bees, florals, and I think those two will be really cute for a spring tote bag. Okay, so I need to go 13 this way, which means I'm probably gonna cut it at like 14.5 just to be safe, because this is not perfectly straight. I got my main outer fabrics and my inner fabrics cut. Now I need to cut out the pocket fabrics for the outside as well as the inside, and then my straps and my little bow closure. So let's do that. Okay, I definitely could use this for the closure bow. Okay, I'm going to do my little ribbon closure 4 by 14.5. Just start there. Then when I get everything sewn, I can adjust the length if I need to. Now I need to cut out a square for the outer pocket. For the inner pocket, I'm just gonna keep it kind of matching. So we'll do this, but for the straps, I think I am going to use this fabric for a nice contrast. So this fabric is kind of sheer. So I'm kind of thinking for the outer pocket, I'll use this for what you see on the outside, and then maybe just a plain white for the inner lining, just to make sure this pops and you can't see through and have like a different design kind of messing it up, if that makes sense. So I think that's what we're gonna do. I think I might cut it at 8 wide, see how that goes, and then maybe 6 deep. So I am gonna do, like I said, this inner fabric for the straps. I think that gives it a nice contrast when the straps match the inner fabric. So when you have it like a little bag, this will be the strap. I think that looks really cute. Okay, I have my pockets, my straps, everything is cut out. So now I need to cut out some batting and quilt the outer piece. I just love the way quilting looks, so I definitely want to do that with this tote bag. I need to order some more batting because this is all I have left. And then of course, next week, I need to start sewing the rest of my spring collection. So I need to order more. I usually stick with the polyfill extra loft batting. I just think it looks really nice once it's sewn together, and so far I've really liked this. So did any of you watch the new season of Bridgerton? I really liked it. That season actually made me tear up a couple times, and I think the only other Bridgerton season that actually made me cry was Queen Charlotte, because obviously the whole backstory to that is pretty sad. So yeah, I think that those are the only 2 seasons that I've teared up, and I really liked it. I love the like Cinderella story retellings, and I know a lot of people kind of like rate their favorite seasons, and I have a hard time picking between season 1, Queen Charlotte's, and this 4th season. I think those are all pretty tied. If I had to choose, I might go like based on emotional feeling, Queen Charlotte, season 4, season 1, season 2, and then season 3. I'm one of those people that did not love season 3. For some reason, I just didn't feel the chemistry there, but that's probably how I would rate Bridgerton. I really want to read the books because I hear that they are even better than the show. So I need to do that because I love historical romances. So I'd probably really enjoy the books. Plus, I think it'd be really cool to see the differences between the books and the TV show. But anyways, I finished cutting out the batting, so I'm going to iron all of these pieces out before I actually start sewing and quilting everything together, just to make sure they're nice and flat and quilt and sew nicely. So let me break out my iron. I'm done with the quilting, so I decided to just do a diagonal quilt because I didn't want to like do too much quilting on the strawberries and kind of like I didn't want to cover that up. So I like this as well. So time to trim all of the batting. Then I'm going to prep the pockets, the straps, and it will be time to start putting it all together. I'm cutting out 2 inches for my boxed out corners. I think it turned out so cute. I absolutely love these fabrics. They are very like spring and summer. So very happy with how this tote bag turned out. Let me show you all the inner pockets. You can kind of see. So those turned out way better than my first 2 tote bags I made. Plus, obviously, I remember to actually do the tie closure. I would like to maybe eventually try making one with a like zipper top. So I was initially thinking about doing another sewing project, but my back's already kind of feeling it. So I think we're gonna move on to my next embroidery. So I'm gonna take you along kind of how I start that. This is only gonna be my 2nd embroidery I've ever done, but it is very spring, so I figured it'd be kind of nice to show you all. And like I mentioned in my last video, I think if you like sewing, you may really enjoy embroidery as well. It's very relaxing. You just kind of get lost in it. So let's go ahead and start that. Let me grab my kit and get it all set up. So here's my kit. These are by Clever Poppy. This is not sponsored, but they did reach out and ask if I wanted to try their kits. And I said, absolutely, I would love to try it. So it comes with all kinds of stuff, all the thread you need, a heat erasable pen, of course your hoop, your fabric, a bunch of needles, scissors, and don't worry about any wrinkling or anything. That will come out once we tighten this. I got a tiny little screwdriver, and then I don't know if I showed you all my finished other one, so I'll show it to you here. I really enjoyed it. I think it turned out so pretty. I love all the little flowers, and I was able to learn, I think, 4 or 5 different embroidery stitching techniques, which looks like it's gonna come very handy with this pattern, which is like a little floral love potion. I was able to pick out the ones I wanted, so of course I gravitated towards all the spring ones. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get this nice and tight and just kind of line it up in the center the best that I can. Okie dokie, ready to trace. So once the embroidery is done, you can use some kind of heat source. I just used my hairdryer to remove the pin. So okay, once that is all done and traced, it's time to trim all of this fabric. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and do a satin stitch all along this topper here with this brown. So basically just start at the end and go for it. Next, I'm going to start working on these green stems. So that's all I'm gonna do in this video because the lighting, as you can see, is not great. It's very just glaring in here, but you can kind of see how you start it and the process. So maybe that can help you decide if you think you might want to get into embroidery. I really like it. I think it's very fun learning the different stitching techniques and seeing the final result. I think it's very pretty and cute. So I hope you liked that little kind of intro into embroidery from a very, very beginner. Like I said, this is only my second one, so, but I will post the final, once I have all of this done, over on my Instagram stories if you want to see how it looks in the end. So that's gonna be it for this video. I hope you enjoyed the couple spring sewing projects. I think both of these turned out so cute, and I can't wait to start using this one that actually has functional inside pockets. And then I also think this pillow turned out adorable. My husband was like, why are they all different fabrics? And I'm like, it's supposed to be that way. And they all kind of tie in together. It's very girly in spring. Next week is gonna be a big sewing video. I think I'm gonna do like a 10 to 12 hour sew with me. Of course, it won't be 10 to 12 hours straight. It will kind of be like those reading, like 24-hour challenges, where I will just have the timer going while I'm sewing, and then if I'm doing anything else, I'll stop the timer. Very excited for that. I cannot believe my spring collection is already launching next week on the 14th. I feel like this year is just flying by, and spring is almost here. It's honestly crazy, and it makes me a little bit sad because I feel like when spring gets here, then summer will be here before I know it, and I am not a summer person. It gets so hot here. So I'm gonna try and just enjoy the early spring as much as I can, which is one of the reasons why I wanted to do this video and just make some cute spring items to kind of get me in the mood and excited for the spring months ahead. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next week. Bye.